Man City 1, Everton 1. That performance was absolutely shocking. It's a terrible result. 1-1 against Everton at home. It has to be better than that. This City side are fighting for Champions League football. It's not a joke anymore. This City side are going to be a million points off Liverpool. It's not about the title race. We've dropped that as City fans. Obviously, Guardiola's dropped it as well. It's now about City getting back into the top 4. You're at home against Everton. Very, very winnable opposition. They just got smashed by Man United a few weeks ago. And this City side, a lack of urgency, a lack of creativity, a lack of being streetwise in certain moments of the game, know when to keep the ball, know when to take a big risk. It was so poor, I think, on so many levels. And the statistics will lie a little bit and cover up the fact that this City side looked toothless, never looked like it was going to break down Everton. It took a penalty, really, to give City an opportunity to win the game 2-1, which obviously Haaland missed. We'll break that down as well in a minute. But ultimately, you can have 25, 30 shots on goal. If they're from Guardiola 25 yards out, they don't count. They're not real shots on target. They're not. And this City side are in a world of pain. It was as bad as anything. It was as bad as anything. If that was at Goodison Park, City lose the game. Seriously, Everton had some unbelievable chances. We're going to break down all the goals, all the big moments, and where this leaves Man City going into the new year. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. If you're new to the channel, would really appreciate it. Let's just start off with, obviously, City get the breakthrough. Bit of an unlucky deflection from Bernardo on Jared Branthwaite. And at that point, City looked really good. I thought Doku on one wing, Savini on the other. Kovacic was keeping it really nice as well, hitting the ball really quick through midfield. A lot of first-time passing, a lot of confidence from the City side. And it's been that way since the first Spurs loss in the League Cup. Obviously, 2 months ago now, when I reeled off those losses at the start of this video. That's from October the 30th. This has been going on. This is systemic. This is chronic failure, because this City side, since October the 30th, since basically the last time City were good at football, it's always been City keeping the ball. City have kept the ball very, very well, created a lot of opportunities in every single game. But it's always the defensive aspect, which is it creates this kind of rot. It creates this kind of failure within the 11. And then with defensive failure, like the Ndiaye goal, we'll talk about it in a minute, the City side have no confidence on the ball after that. It creates this kind of hole in the side. As soon as the chance is given away, City crumble, capitulate. They fold like a pack of cards. It's crazy. Our defense is like a Fabergé egg. You're afraid to handle it because you might break it. It's brittle. It's fragile. I'm not going to talk too much about the goal. Fine, City score, perfectly good goal. It was great to see a bit of movement, a bit of energy, a bit of intensity in the first 20 minutes. And then we have to talk about the City conceding to Ndiaye. The ball is on the kind of right-hand side of the City box. Decore picks it up. It's a good ball from Decore. It's not a world-class ball. It's not David Beckham looping it over people. He just drills it across the back four. Akanji absolutely messes it up. Huge opportunity for him, Akanji, to clear the ball. He doesn't do it. I think he's got to do a lot better. The actual pressing from the midfield, this is where you miss Rodri massively, because the pressing from the midfield against Decore would be a lot higher if Rodri was in the midfield, if someone else was in midfield compared to Kovacic. But he's a little bit off of it. He doesn't press Decore. Decore's got the freedom far too close to the City goal to be spraying balls around. He's not David Beckham, is he? He's not Zinedine Zidane. It's Decore. With all due respect, he's a fantastic midfielder, but he's given too much space, too much respect, and the ball gets lofted over. Kovacic has to do a little bit better, in my opinion. And then it goes over Rico Lewis, who is really poor in the air. Certainly the last couple of months, he's been really poor, in my opinion, defensively speaking. He has been. He looked good today at points, moving the ball well. But that killer ball over, you want your right back to be powerful and aggressive and command the position. And Kyle Walker was doing that for 7 or 8 years. And it's a gaping hole in the right-hand side of the defence when Kyle Walker's not there. Let's be completely honest. Because the ball gets played over the top, and Ndiaye takes one touch and he smashes it, and it's an unbelievable bit of skill, of technique. He is at a level far higher than Everton, with all due respect. He could be at a top 6, top 7, top 8 kind of club. He really could. He's a fantastic player, and Ndie's first touch is fantastic. He's got good pace and technical brilliance. That goal is underrated. People won't talk about it. It was fantastic the way he got it away. For his first touch to get it away from the defender and smashes it, laces it. But Rico Lewis gets caught under it. Akanji should be clearing it. And Kovacic has to be pressing higher. The defence is so poor. And actually the defence in the second half gave away big chances to Gay. Calvert-Lewin was 1-on-1. It could have been 2-1. It could have been 3-1. I think City are lucky to be facing an Everton side that still has quality, 100%. Still is a side that won't get relegated, in my opinion. Still has a good manager. I like Sean Dyche a lot. The spine of this Everton side, the England keeper, Calvert-Lewin, Decore, it's still a good Tarkowski. I like Branthwaite. I like. They've got a lot of qualities, Everton side, but there's a lot of nerves. You can see it with them. They're not a good side. They're a side low on confidence. They're a side that got smashed by Man United recently as well. They're a side that shouldn't be lingering in the way that they are around the relegation zone. It says a lot about their confidence, if anything, not their quality. And this City side could not capitalise on Everton's low confidence. It was so poor. Have to talk about the Haaland penalty. Obviously, Savinho gets the ball on the right-hand side of the box. This is second half. This is the kind of moment where City kill off Everton so many times. A side like Everton, in moments like this, Boxing Day in the season, City would have won this game 2-1, shut up shop, keep the ball, and there you go on to the next game. And it was just like, I knew Haaland was going to miss. Honestly, I don't predict much in football well, but I knew he was going to miss. There was just something about his performance today. Low on confidence, low on energy, low on intensity. And I just thought, as soon as he ran out to it, I thought he was going to miss it. And Pickford's a fantastic penalty shot stopper. We know that anyway. He was giving him the eyes and winding up Haaland. And ultimately, he scuffs the ball. I mean, the guy's on 350 grand a week. I think he's probably closer to £500,000 a week when it's all said and done. And you're asking your number 9. You're not asking him to score from 40 yards out. You're not asking him to dribble around 6 players. But you're asking him to score those penalties. And City have had a massive issue at scoring penalties before Haaland came in. And you feel he comes in, he has to score that. And I know it's a good save from Pickford, but he lets him make. It's not like a great penalty and a great save. It's a poor penalty and a great save. I think Haaland has to be doing better. And so many times today, Haaland, for me, slow in build up, takes too many touches. He did work really hard on the centre backs for Everton, bullying the Everton centre backs, and he was running into space. But he had 2 chances in the first half. He missed as well. He's in the lowest confidence he's probably had since playing in the Austrian league, or before that for Molde in the Norwegian league. And he's still a young kid. He still has a lot of room to grow. He has obviously a world-class ceiling, a generational ceiling for a striker his age. But he has to do a lot more, a lot better. He has to improve. His build-up play has to improve. His first touch has to improve. And let's be completely honest. He has to. I think City fans maybe are a bit too generous. I include myself in that. Too generous in the fact that actually he has to improve his finishing. Even those goal return in the last few months in the last couple of years, you can't say anything about it. You can defend it to the hill. Any football fan can slag him off. And as a City fan, you can defend his goal ratio. It's out of this world. It's disgusting. He scored 52 goals in his first season in the Premier League. It's outrageous in all competitions. But this season, you have to be fair and say his finishing has worsened. He's not improved as a finisher, and he's closer to kind of 1 in 2, 1 in 3 now. And it never felt like he was going to score today, even though he had 3 big chances, including a penalty. And it is frustrating because his side needs to get dug out. How many times did Andy Cole for Newcastle, or Michael Owen for Liverpool, Drogba for Chelsea, these big number 9s, Aguero would have scored a hat-trick today in a poor City side? Seriously. And you're asking Haaland to do the same. Maybe it's unfair. Maybe he's not that kind of guy. But his numbers suggest otherwise in the first few seasons. He's been really poor in the last few weeks. At the start of this run, he wasn't that poor, and he scored a few here and there. But in the last few weeks of this run, early December, it's been really, really poor, and his build-up play isn't improving. He's just not improving. He's not improving, and it is concerning because City need points. City are Premier League champions, Champions League winners the last few years, won't be in the Champions League at this current rate next season. Seriously. And that's what you have to talk about Haaland, because he's your number 9. He's the highest paid player at the club. Have to talk about De Bruyne. Didn't start the game, was warming up 60 minutes. Didn't come on until 75, 80 minutes. Didn't get anywhere near enough time to influence the game. When he came on, he moves the ball quicker than anyone else. He moves the ball with more confidence than anyone else. He was really good, but he came on for 10 minutes. You can't really talk about him too much. I don't know what's happening. He has to start this game. He has to start this game. And I don't know anything. I'm not a physio. I'm not a doctor. Do you know what I mean? I've got a humanities degree. I'm not a scientist anywhere near it. But if he's fit enough to come on, and he's at his period of his career at City, where it might be the last time City fans even get to see him live in the stadium, then it doesn't matter anymore. There are no fine margin calls for Guardiola. You have to play your best 11 every week and see what happens. It might not be enough to even get into an FA Cup semi-final, let alone win anything else. But you have to play De Bruyne in this game if he's fit enough to play. I don't know if he is. I don't know the ins and outs 100% like the doctors. But he has been in the last few weeks. He wasn't trusted in some of the bigger games as well, like you're talking Liverpool and stuff like that. So I don't know what's going on, because when he comes on, he does make a difference. He moves the ball quicker. City are 5-10 yards further up the pitch with more confidence. Everyone looks a little bit better, even 1%, 2% better when he comes on the pitch. He moves the ball with pace as well. That's what his City side lack. Moving the ball with pace, not just passing it accurately, but first time whipping things into people's feet, trusting their touch. And he came on and it was a marginal performance because he comes on too late. Why is he coming on so late? It just makes no sense to me. Everton is 3 points there for the taking, and De Bruyne wasn't there to create that opportunity for City. He's not a relic of the past. He's not a museum piece. He's one of the best players in the last 10 years in Premier League history. Some people put him into all-time Premier League 11s. Some people do. You can defend it or whatever, but they do. And that says how close he is to being one of the best players to ever play in this league. He's not being trusted by Guardiola nearly enough, in my opinion. And obviously, I take these comments back if there's something I don't know about his injuries, about his back, whatever. I don't know, hernia I think he's got, whatever it is. But if I am right and he is fully fit, you have to play him earlier. It's mental. You're playing Everton. It's a big game. It's Premier League football. You have to play your best 11. And it didn't feel like it's the best 11 again today. Ake's got an injury as well. So going into the next game, it looks like it's going to be Buvey against Leicester City. Also, just some final comments on the 11. Ilkay Gundogan got taken out today. I thought Kovacic offers a little bit more stability, but again, the turnover, the pressing, the counter-attacking opportunities for these sides playing Man City, it's scary. I don't think you can play Savinho and Doku. I think Savinho and Doku are both wasteful. They're both exciting. They've both got high ceilings, but you can't play both of them together, in my opinion. I really don't. I think Phil Foden has to go onto the wing. Playing the century, he's getting crowded out by midfielders. He's getting bullied by midfielders, in my opinion. Linked up a couple of opportunities. One that he laid onto Bernardo Silva, that Bernardo Silva should be scoring from. But apart from that, again, it was another anonymous performance from Phil Foden. So I think put him on the wing and have a bit more control. You know, Grealish comes back. Have Doku and Foden, or Savinho and Grealish. I just don't think you can play two wingers. Too much turnover of the ball. You're chasing. You're trying to win the game 2-1 against Everton, and you got Doku doing little flicks and stuff and losing the ball. The turnover of the ball is so much higher when they're both playing together, Savinho and Doku. I don't think you can do it, in my honest opinion. It's a shame. 1-1 draw. It's really poor. It's really poor. I want to sit here and say, oh, you know, Everton did well. It was a tough draw, but that was an opportunity for City. I mean, Everton was so deep, and City have got to start winning games of football to get into the Champions League. Can't believe I'm saying that. The fall off of this City side will be studied, because it's beyond the joke. No one expects City to win 5 in a row. No one expects that. It's craziness. But to fall off from first to being close to 20 points behind Liverpool in New Year, absolute craziness. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. Leave your thoughts, and I'll see you very, very soon.